Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel again. Now look, this title right here, Diddy Accusers lawyer faces extortion lawsuit from a prominent figure. Got this video here from TMZ. The Diddy Accusers lawyer. I'm thinking it has to be what's the name? Bugsby? We gonna check this out. We ain't gonna waste no more time. Let's jump right into it.
Welcome to TMZ Live. Harvey Levin here.
Charles here.
So there has been another Diddy lawsuit, but this one goes in the opposite direction. In this one, what looks like a celebrity is suing the lawyer who has filed all the lawsuits against Diddy, suing him.
Most of them.
A lot of them.
Yeah.
More than 120 lawsuits.
Right.
So, and
That's
well,
what is eventually
he'll have that
Tony
number.
Busby.
And it's for extortion. Extortion.
Yeah, this is potentially a game changer in the Diddy lawsuit arena because someone, a prominent, only referring to himself as a prominent figure,
Who has some connection to
and
Diddy.
has connection to Diddy, admittedly says this is in their lawsuit, they say this is someone who...
Again, you can use your own imagination on who you think they might be talking about.
With Diddy, attended his parties, and because of that association, they say that this person received a demand letter from Tony Busby. Now, we spoke to Tony Busby. We were telling you about these demand letters.
In fact, it's in our documentary.
It's in our documentary. He's very open about the fact, Tony Busby is, that he has sent these letters to celebrities who, even if they weren't necessarily engaging in any illegal activity, but if they were at a party and did nothing to stop illegal activity.
If they saw, for example,
Correct.
somebody who is having sex where they're not really competent to make a decision to say yes to it because they're on drugs or alcohol, he feels they are as guilty as the perpetrator who essentially that person.
Right.
And he has made that really clear. He made that clear in our documentary and said...
Again, like I said, a lot of times they say words that can't be repeated in a reaction video. That's why I always leave the link. But basically he, is talking about if they were there witnessing something that was taking place that shouldn't have been taking place, that they're part of the problem too.
He's going after him. Well, now somebody got that letter. A celebrity got
and
that
decided
letter.
they weren't going to take it. They just weren't going to just let Tony Busby make this demand of them when they clearly feel they did nothing wrong. So now they are suing Tony Busby for extortion.
Now, we talked to him in this documentary. It's called The Downfall of Diddy Inside the Freak-Offs. And I spoke with him about this very thing, about whether filing or sending a demand letter basically saying, I got a lot of embarrassing things to say about you, even if it's not necessarily legally wrong that you did. Was that kind of the game here to exact money for fear on the other side that they're going to file a lawsuit?
I thought his response to you was stunning. Here is what Tony Busby said.
I'm curious what you think about that criticism that, you put enough embarrassing things in a complaint or say you're going to, and it forces a settlement and it becomes almost, that's the game. What do you say about that? That's a criticism I hear on the other side.
No, it's a fair point. I mean, the system is the system. It's a gulag, if you will. It's a tough process, and we always make an attempt to resolve these cases without the filing of a lawsuit. That's just what we try to do. And if we fail in that, we're going to file the case and we're going to pursue it with aggression.
Tony Busby, it may seem a little unseemly, but what he's saying is right. This is the way, Harvey, we've covered these cases forever, where aggressive plaintiffs' lawyers will reach out to somebody and say, unless you go ahead and pay my client money now, I'm going to file a lawsuit against you. And whether the allegations are true or not, it's going to be really embarrassing just to have the lawsuit filed. Therefore, pay up. And that's what Tony Busby is doing. Now, I'm not saying that he doesn't believe in what his clients are saying. He doesn't believe that he has a viable lawsuit. But the plaintiff in this case, the John Doe that's suing him, is saying Tony Busby knows they're false and is sending these letters anyways, and that's a violation of his legal ethics, and he says a violation of the laws around extortion.
So, Jason, in the legal community, there are two words that critics of Tony Busby and other lawyers, who are filing these suits, there are two words that they use to describe that whole process: send a demand letter or else I'm going to sue you. Two words.
Legalized extortion.
Yep. I mean, that's what is commonly referred to in the legal community, legalized extortion. And what this person is saying is not legal.
Right.
They're taking the word legal out. Right.
With respect to the plaintiff, and I know they believe what they're saying, if you create a system where lawyers are afraid to send these demand letters, what you have are just lawsuits being filed without the demand letters being sent in the first place. And that's not the system we want either. Lawyers have to be able to say to prospective defendants, I mean, lots of times the plaintiff does have a good claim against the defendant, and they don't want to have to go to court with it, and they do want to be paid. So how do you do that if the lawyer's afraid they're going to get sued for extortion?
Hey, I'm Tiffany Pard from Colorado Springs, and this situation is just all over the place. Like, it's extortion, legal extortion, Jane Doe, John Doe. And at this point, we're just tired, or I personally am tired. I just need the truth to come out and justice for the victims to happen, because it's too much what's happening.
Well, the issue is, how do you define victims and how do you define perpetrators? And that's unresolved.
Right. And in the numbers that we're talking about, it's not going to be the same you kind of have to look at every single case.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. Okay, we're moving on.
Yes.
Like that one girl said, it is getting really, really, really crazy, man. And they say Diddy is still trying to get out, post bail and all that stuff. I just feel like at this point, it's tough to say, but it's like we got to have patience. All the victims, are probably looking at this and just saying, like, finally, people are hearing our story. We have platforms to talk on now. And, once we hear the stories from them, it's like, oh no, they need to be locked up right now, but it's going to take time. We just want it to happen. You know what I mean? Because it seems like the more time it takes, they may find some way to weasel themselves out of it, and we don't want that happening. So, again, appreciate y'all coming over. Comment below who y'all think this is. All right, peace out.